Magandang araw mga kapitek. Welcome to another video ng ating licensure examination for teachers. Gabi. Gabi. And we have another video that will be presented po para sa inyong preparation para po sa upcoming licensure examination. I believe this is on March, no? So, ang ating program ay ang ating PTEC Licensure Examination for Teachers Review Program po. Kung titignan po natin ang ating YouTube channel ay there are already a lot of videos that were provided. So this one po ay nasa session number 20 na po tayo. At ang atin pong discussion ngayong sa video na ito ay ang child and adolescent development. Alright, so let's start. For our question number 1, the theories of child and adolescent development, which of the following best describes Piaget's preparational stage of cognitive development? So ano dito? Yung ating description para sa tinatawag po natin na pre-operational stage of cognitive development according to John Piaget. No? Si John Piaget ay ang kanyang theory of cognitive development describes how children's thinking changes over time, kung paano nagbabago yung kanilang cognitive development as they age. So children use symbols ba? Children begin thinking abstractly and use hypothetical reasoning. Infants learn about the world through sensory experiences. Or D, children master conservation and develop logical thinking. So again, yung ating point dito sa question number 1 ay ang pre-operational stage. So pang-ilan nga ba ang pre-operational stage? Ito po ay pangalawa, no? Ito ay pangalawa. Ang mauuna na cognitive development stage according to Piaget ay yung tinatawag natin na sensory motor or sensory motor development. It starts from birth to 2 years, and typically this is the stage when children learn through their senses and yung kanilang motor responses. So from there, ang ating pre-operational stage ay susunod, no, from 2 to 7 years when children develop symbolic thinking and have yung tinatawag na egocentric na perception. So in this particular case, alin dyan ang nag-explain noong development ng symbolic thinking at ang egocentric perception? So makikita natin dyan, kaya ang tamang sagot ay letter A. Piaget's preparational stage is characterized by symbolic thinking, egocentrism, and the lack of logical reasoning. Okay? Pagkatapos po ng pre-operational, ang susunod ay concrete operational. 7 to 11 years naman ito, in which children learn to think logically and develop an understanding of conservation. And finally, yung ating last stage, according to Piaget, ay yung formal operational. Mag-umpisa yan ng 12 years and above. It is when children develop abstract thinking and the scientific reasoning. Okay? So, yan po yung mga konsepto that are related to question number 1. Ang sagot natin dyan ay letter A. Let's proceed to question number 2. I'll give you time to process. No? So, check po natin yung ating question number 2 about Erik Erikson. According to Erik Erikson, what is the primary developmental challenge of adolescents? Trust mistrust, initiative versus guilt, identity versus role confusion, or industry versus inferiority. Okay, so alin po dyan ang ating tamang sagot para sa different stages naman ni Erik Erikson? Again, si Erik Erikson ay may pakana, may proposed theory siya na tinatawag natin na psychosocial development, no? According to Erikson, ang bawat stage daw ng individual ay meron siyang specific na psychological struggle na kailangan na malampasan ng isang individual so that magkaroon ng healthy progression ng kanyang psychological development or psychosocial development. Okay? Nag-uumpisa ito sa trust versus mistrust. No? Infants learn to trust adults in their lives as the first stage natin, followed by autonomy versus shame and doubt, wherein children learn to be independent and make their own decisions. Okay? So in this particular question, ang adolescence ay ano kaya ang stage niya? Nandyan ba siya kay initiative versus guilt, identity versus role confusion, or industry versus the inferiority? So ilan ang total stages nito? There are 8, no? General stages. According to Erik Erikson, 4 lang yung nakalagay dito. Ang una dyan ay ang trust versus mistrust at ang pinakadulo po, pinakalast ay yung integrity versus despair, in which people reflect on their lives and feel either satisfied or they are regretful. So ibig sabihin, nasa bandang gitna, no, yung ating adolescence or challenge of adolescence. Ang tamang sagot natin dito ay letter C. Yeah. Adolescents struggle with the identity formation, no, versus the role confusion as they establish a sense of self, no. Ito yung common stage in which adolescents search for a sense of self and identity. They are finding their own niche, no, in the society, and they're developing their own kumbaga yung kanilang character, no, as a person. Alright, so ang tamang sagot natin dito ay letter C, identity formation versus role confusion. Next question, question number 3, ay ang tanong natin dito ay which of the following best explains Vygotsky's zone of proximal development or tinatawag natin na ZPD. Alright? So alin nga ba dito yung character ng ating ZPD? I'll give you time to process. Alright? The gap between what a child can do independently and what can they achieve with guidance, natural progression ba yan? Ability to store and retrieve knowledge, or a fixed level of intelligence? So ano ba yung ZPD na yan? So basically, very obvious kung ikaw ay familiar kay Lev Vygotsky's theory of learning and development. Okay, so sinasabi ni Vygotsky na ang ZPD ay meron daw tinatawag na actual development at saka meron siyang tinatawag na potential development, no? Ang actual development refers to the development that refers to what a learner can do independently, no, on his own, kumbaga. That's actual development. Ngayon, the ZPD naman is referring to the zone in which kapag dinagdagan mo ng isang proper guidance yung isang individual, ay maaari daw niyang ma-meet yung tinatawag na potential development, no? What a learner can do with help. Okay, so yun ang difference noong actual development with that of potential development. Okay, so why is ZPD important? ZPD is important because it explains why some skills are social in nature, and it also helps educators understand how to support, no, yung learners in reaching their potential. So bilang isang teacher, kailangan nakikita natin yan that every individual has their own potential, but with the proper guidance si teacher ay mamimit, mai-close yung gap na yon or magkakaroon ng realization yung gap na yon, yung tinatawag natin na ZPD. So alin dyan ang tamang sagot for number 3? With all the explanations provided, the correct answer is letter A, no? ZPD is the difference between the child's independent ability and what they can learn with help from a more knowledgeable other, and that has something to do with the teacher. No? In reality, it's a teacher or somebody who can guide the child. Moving on with item number 4. Okay. So in Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, which system includes direct influences such as family, teachers, and peers? A. Mesosystem. B. Microsystem. C. Exosystem. Or D. The macro system. All right. So ano itong binabanggit, no, regarding kay Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, no? According to the ecological systems theory by Uri Bronfenbrenner, ito daw yung theory of human development that states that a person's development is shaped by their interactions with their environment, no? So may mga key elements ito na binabanggit kagaya ng systems, itong pinag-uusapan natin dito. We have interactions, the complexity, and the level of influence, no? So in the systems, sabi ni Bronfenbrenner, meron daw 5 systems that affect a person's development. May microsystem, may mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and the chronosystem. So in terms of itong question na to, referring to those direct influences coming from family, teachers, and peers, alin daw dyan ang nire-refer niya? Are they part of the meso, micro, exo, or the macro system? Okay? So, ang ating sagot, no, for this particular question ay ang tinatawag natin na letter B, no, the microsystem. It consists of the child's immediate environment, no. The microsystem is the most influential, no, encompassing the child's immediate environment such as family and the school. Kaya siya tinawag po na the microsystem. Matagal na ito, no, na discussion about the ecological systems ni Bronfenbrenner. Na-propose pa ito noong 1977, no, suggesting that the child's environment is a nested arrangement of structures, each contained within the next, that has something to do or that has an influence on the development of the individual, no, the development of the individual. Okay? So, yun ang nabanggit natin, the most influential ay ang microsystem. Yung mesosystem naman is where a person's individual microsystems do not function independently but are interconnected, no, and assert influence upon one another. Okay. Halimbawa, a child whose parents are actively involved in their school life, such as attending the PTA, may perform better, no, according to the mesosystem. Yung exosystem naman is a component of the ecological system that incorporates formal and informal social structures. Kasama na po dyan ang local government, the mass media, yan. Ang mass media, we can say that the social media is already part, no, noong tinatawag natin na exosystem. Yung macro system naman focuses on how cultural elements affect a child's development, consisting of cultural ideologies, attitudes, and social conditions. Okay? Ang chrono system is the fifth and the final level of Bronfenbrenner's ecological system. It relates to shifts, no, and transitions over the child's lifetime. No, these environmental changes can be predicted, like starting a school, changing workplaces, yan, na nagkukos ng stress sa individual. Ito daw yung mga parte ng tinatawag natin na chrono system. Say for example, yung pagbabago ng technology, yung shifting, no, nagkaroon na ng mas malaking impact, no? From the traditional media to the new kind of media that we have right now. Ito ay significant, no? Chrono system change daw ito para sa mga bata. Kaya kung makikita natin yung pagbabago ng mga categories nila, yung mga pangalan nila, yung labeling nila ay parte, no? Ito noong pagbabago sa kind of media that they've been experiencing. Okay, number 5. Which of the following is an example of classical conditioning in child development? So, kanino nga ba itong classical conditioning? Okay? So, students studies hard because they expect a reward. A child gets anxious every time they enter a dentist's office. A toddler learns to use a spoon by watching an older sibling, or a teenager practices a sport repeatedly to improve performance. Alright? So, ano yung tamang sagot dyan? Classical conditioning. Pagka classical conditioning theory, ito ay walang iba, no? But ito ay pinropose ng sikat na si Ivan Pavlov regarding his experiment regarding dogs' response to a particular stimuli, no? Sabi ni Pavlov sa kanyang explanation is that dogs salivated whenever they hear, no, the footsteps of their feeder or any kind of yung mga stimuli, no, na nagbibigay noong response, no, for a particular eventuality. Okay? So sabi ni Pavlov dito, ang classical conditioning theory, no, is a type of learning that happens when a neutral stimulus is repeatedly paired with an unconditioned stimulus. So it's a stimulus response kind of relationship. All right? So ang tamang sagot natin for number 5 ay, syempre, it's letter B. No? The classical conditioning by Ivan Pavlov associates stimuli with involuntary responses. So alin dito yung ating stimuli and response sa letter B? Getting anxious is the response, no? May stimuli yan, yung pagpasok doon sa dentist kasi nga na-embed na yung painful experience na yon doon sa bata. So it seemingly, kahit na hindi naman dapat magkaroon ng anxiety yung isang individual, pero naaalala, for example, okay, yung nangyari sa kanya during the previous experience. Going into number 6 tayo, which of the following is an example of fine motor development in early childhood? Okay, motor development. Running around the playground, climbing stairs, holding a pencil, and writing letters, or jumping over a hurdle. Correct. Ang example of fine motor development ay, yan, letter C, no, such as writing or drawing. Pag sinabi natin na fine motor skills, it involve yung small muscle movements. Parte yan ng development ng motor skills ng isang individual. Question number 7, what is the primary characteristic of adolescence according to G. Stanley Hall? So, as you review, there you're able to meet, no, a lot of mga names na sometimes hindi ito nababanggit, no. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but with the proliferation ng ating technology nga ay nagkaroon na tayo ng mas maraming information about this, no. Si Stanley Hall, no, is primarily yung kanyang theory ay tinatawag na recapitulation theory, wherein he proposed, no, that human development throughout life mirrors the evolutionary history of a particular species. No? So, yung kanyang stages of human evolution as they grow up according to the theory, with adolescence being particularly the turbulent period of storm and stress. Yan. So, nabanggit na natin dito, no? As they transition from more primitive state to a civilized one. This theory is largely discredited today, but was influential in the early developmental psychology research. So in this particular case, just in case na mabanggit si Stanley Hall, nabanggit na natin yung kanyang sagot dyan, no? Letter C. Hall described adolescence as a period of storm and stress due to rapid physical and emotional changes. Next, question number 8, which of the following best illustrates social learning in childhood? So yung keyword mo dyan sa number 8 ay social learning. Alin dyan ang may social learning? Child solving a puzzle? Toddler learning aggressive behavior by watching violent cartoons? Child developing logical reasoning? Or a student memorizing? So alin dyan yung may social context? Question number 8, ang sagot natin dito ay letter B. Yan. Bandura's social learning theory suggests that children learn behaviors by observing and imitating others. Yan. So si Bandura ay siya yung may akda no nung social learning na theory na tinatawag natin, wherein he proposed that people learn no by observing others, and that this process is central to understanding the human behavior. So yung kanyang experiment, yung tinatawag natin na Bubodal experiment, demonstrated that children can learn behaviors through the observation of adults. So yung nakikita, obserbahan ng bata, at ito ay nagiging parte no noong kanyang yung kanyang mga values that will be embedded doon sa kanyang core self na tinatawag natin. Okay? For number 8, it's letter B. Go with number 9. At what age do most children begin forming secure attachments to caregivers? 2 to 3 months, 6 to 8 months, 12 to 15, or 2 to 3 years? Okay? Attachment to caregivers ay nag-uumpisa yan around 6 to 8 months. Infants develop secure or insecure attachments based on the caregiver responsiveness. Okay, and for number 10, which parenting style according to Baumrind is characterized by high expectations and high responsiveness? So, tingnan naman natin yung Baumrind or Baumrind theory. Si Diane Baumrind, pillar theory, ang kanyang term dito states that parenting styles are linked to children's behaviors. No? Baumrind was a psychologist who studied parenting styles, and meron siyang nabanggit no, na tatlo na klase dito. We have authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive. No? In the authoritative style, parents are demanding and controlling but also supportive and responsive. Pero pag authoritarian, parents are demanding and controlling but do not support or respond to their children. They expect obedience and impose rules without providing explanations. Pag permissive naman, parents are supportive and responsive but do not demand or control their children. They are warmer and grant more autonomy to their children. So alin dito yung may characterization ng high expectation and high responsiveness? Authoritarian, permissive, authoritative, or neglectful. Tatlo lang po yan. Correct answer natin dito is letter C, authoritative, no? Because ang ano dito they are able to set no clear rules and expectations and encourage children to participate in family decisions, no? So according to this theory, medyo magkakaroon ng better developmental outcomes kapag authoritative yung parenting daw according to the theory mentioned. Okay? 11, according to Kohlberg, at what level of moral development do children make decisions based on avoiding punishment? So kay Kohlberg naman, anong tawag dun sa theory ni Kohlberg in this particular? Pre-conventional, conventional, post-conventional, or autonomous. So, yeah. Si Kohlberg, yung Kohlberg theory, ay merong mga ayan, different stages. That's according to Lawrence Kohlberg's theory of moral development. No? Ano yung mga stages na nabanggit niya? Pre-conventional, conventional, and the post-conventional. In the pre-conventional, children follow rules to avoid punishments or to gain rewards. Pag conventional naman, children follow social rules and expectations to be accepted by others. So they wear yung mga damit na gusto nila because they want acceptance coming from their peers. Pero pag pre-conventional naman, yung mga bata, they just follow rules kasi ayaw nilang mapagalitan or makakakuha sila ng reward. Pero kapag post-conventional naman, people consider justice and equality when making decisions. So this is no longer about punishment and reward, or this is no longer about acceptance by others, but it's already in terms of established moral values or moral norms na tinatawag. So kapag ang bata ay ang desisyon niya ay dahil ginawa niya yun dahil ayaw niyang magkaroon ng punishment, so very clear yan. Ang tawag natin dito ay letter A, no? Pre-conventional level. Morality is based on avoiding punishment or seeking rewards. Number 12, which of the following cognitive skills do adolescents develop during Piaget's formal operational stage? Yan, nabanggit na natin ito kanina. Is it object permanence, egocentrism, abstract thinking, or conservation? So, ang keyword natin dito ay formal operational stage. So, alin ang dapat ma-associate natin dito sa term na yan? Alright, ang sagot natin dito syempre ay letter C, no? Abstract thinking and hypothetical reasoning developed in Piaget's formal operational stage. 13, which of the following best describes metacognition in child development? The ability to memorize large amounts of information, thinking about own thinking process, or rapid language development in early childhood, or D, reflexive actions in infants. Sagot natin, ang tamang sagot dito ay, balikan natin ng konti. Yan. So, A, B, C, or D, kapag metacognition, ang keyword mo dyan ay metacognition. Yan. Metacognition is letter B. It is the awareness and regulation of one's own thinking processes. Learning how to learn. Learning when to learn. Yan. And yung learning about learning. Yan tawag natin po dyan sa metacognition. 14, which language development theory suggests that children learn language through reinforcement and imitation? All right. So, nativist theory, social interactionist theory, behaviorist theory, or the cognitive theory. Reinforcement and imitation. So, from the term itself, makikita mo kagad yan na ito ay letter C. Kay B.F. Skinner yan, yung tinatawag natin na behaviorist theory. No? According to Skinner, he argued that language develops through reinforcement and imitation. The more that the behavior will be reinforced, the more that it will be retained, okay? Or when it will be imitated. Yeah. Next, number 15. At what age do most children begin using two-word phrases? 6 months, 12, 18 to 24, or 3 years? Yan. Two-word phrases usually ay makikita natin sa isang bata na age 18 to 24 months. So hanggang 2 taon. Children begin forming two-word phrases. Yung tinatawag po natin yan na telegraphic speech. 16, a child with dyslexia would have difficulty in which area? Motor coordination, reading and writing, social interaction, or auditory processing. Ang dyslexia ay isang kondisyon na nagkakaroon ng effect primarily sa reading and writing skills. Okay? Yan po yung pagka ang bata ay may dyslexia. Okay? Ang ibang tawag kay dyslexia ay word blindness. No? It's a learning disability that affects either the reading or the writing of the individual. And different people are affected to different degrees. Hindi naman pare-pareho yan. 17, which of the following strategies is most effective for teaching to children with ADHD? Strict punishment, long lectures, structured routine, or ignoring the child's behavior? Yeah, correct answer dito ay, syempre, madaling ma-spot yan, letter C, no? Structured routines and active learning, no, helping students with ADHD to stay engaged. Very short yung attention span kapag may ADHD, kaya dapat naka-structure yung kanilang mga activities. 18, why is scaffolding important in teaching young children? So scaffolding is the provision of the support, no? Ayan. So makikita natin kaagad dyan kung anong tamang sagot dyan. A, B, C, and D. Encouraging independent learning, providing strict discipline, replacing traditional method, or eliminating the need for assessment. According to Vygotsky, scaffolding provides temporary support until learners can complete tasks independently. And it's important because the provision of the support will allow, no, for the full development of the full potential of the individual, according to Vygotsky. 19, addressing learning difference in the classroom. Mrs. De La Cruz noticed that some of her students grasp mathematical concepts quickly while others struggle despite multiple explanations. She wants to ensure that all students can learn effectively. Which strategy aligns best with the ZPD according to Vygotsky? Pairing struggling students, allowing students to solve problems, giving all students the same worksheet, or skipping challenging topics. Ano ulit yung binanggit natin kay ZPD? The individual needs guidance. No? So in order to achieve yung proximal development, ibig sabihin nito, the child needs a certain level of guidance. Kaya, ang tamang sagot dyan is letter A. Yan. ZPD emphasizes guided learning through interactions with more knowledgeable peers or teachers. Somebody who can guide the child. 20. A group of preschoolers in Mrs. Garcia's class often has difficulty taking turns and following classroom rules. She wants to help them develop self-regulation. Which approach is most effective? Punishment, visual schedules, ignore misbehavior, or limit their playtime. So upon the examining the different options, makikita natin dyan ang tamang sagot ay letter B. No? Young children learn self-regulation best through visual cues, modeling, and consistent guidance, which is also the reason why the use of visual materials and the different teaching materials should be appealing to the child in order to retain yung kanilang attention doon sa isang bagay. So, tinuturo ni teacher. 21. Mr. Javier notices that some of his grade 10 students seem withdrawn and unmotivated in class. When he asked, they mentioned feeling stressed about family expectations and peer pressure. What is the best way to support their emotional development? Open communication, assigning extra work, ignoring their concerns, discouraging them. Okay. The answers may be obvious, pero gusto ko na i-emphasize na yung terms, yung words ay dapat nandiyan, no? Okay, so in here, ang tamang sagot natin ay letter A. Adolescents benefit from a supportive learning environment where they feel safe to express their concerns. A 5-year-old in Miss Santos' class struggles with pronouncing words clearly and forming complete sentences. The child is often frustrated when peers do not understand him. What should Mrs. Santos do to support his language development? Okay. So, ang sagot natin dyan ay letter A, definitely. No? Modeling language and providing interaction opportunities to help children. So, we provide opportunities for interaction and model the correct pronunciation in order to develop communication skills. Finally, a group of students frequently excludes a shy classmate from the activities. The teacher wants to foster inclusivity and positive peer relationship. Which approach is most effective? Ang tamang sagot dito ay letter A, no? Group activities that will help students develop social skills and foster inclusivity in a natural way. All right? So, there you have it, mga kapitek. This will be additional inputs para po sa inyo in order to give you additional resources para sa inyong review. Don't forget po to like and subscribe po sa ating YouTube channel, and please share sa inyong mga kakilala para naman makatulong din po sa kanila itong mga ginagawa natin na mga simple videos para sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood, and good luck as you prepare for your examination to become a full-fledged and a licensed professional teachers. Maraming salamat and magandang araw.